I have 60 days before I start skateboarding 1,500 miles through Texas. That means I have 60 days to get in shape, gain weight, dial in my gear, both backpacking and skateboarding. I have to do all of this while also earning and raising the money to be out there for the next 2 to 3 months. Oh yeah, I have to do all this while filming and editing a YouTube series. None of this will get done without 3 main components: routine, organization, discipline. So let's dive in. For the next 2 months, I'll work 6 days a week, 9 to 5, just like my girl Dolly Parton. This is a breakdown of my week, color-coded to help me stay organized. I consider my week Mondays through Sundays, as Sundays are the days that I recap the previous week and plan for the week ahead. Outside of that, all my time is dedicated to training and working on the YouTube series. Twice a week, I set time aside for myself. Tuesdays are typically my off days, reserved for household chores, town runs, and meetings. Tuesday evening, my partner and I have date night that we call Little John Night. Yeah! And no matter how busy we are, we always make time for each other every Tuesday night. Every Sunday morning, I have breakfast with my friend Dean, where we catch up and shoot the For over a decade now, I've carried a notebook with me every single day. I'm an analog type human, so it helps me to write everything out, mark off completed tasks, and revise as the day goes along. And I had a brain injury about 3 years ago that's worse than my short-term memory, so the notebooks help prevent important details from falling through the cracks. I have different notebooks for different aspects of my life that help me stay organized. Without discipline, everything will fall through the cracks. Discipline is basically consistency and focus. To quote Nike, discipline essentially means just do it. If it sucks, you still have to do it. Routine and organization is the foundation for discipline. Planning ahead is how you set yourself up for success. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Through skating is defined as an endurance sport, even if it's fueled by honey buns and weed. If you're sedentary at home, you'll be sedentary on trail. Skating 30 to 50 miles in a day isn't exactly easy. I have to train my body to handle that type of distance. My main focus is legs and core. I need to be running or skateboarding 1 hour a day, 6 days a week. I always train with a weighted pack on because while I'm through skating, I can't take the pack off. So while I'm training, the pack stays on. It contains all of my gear and 5 pounds of rice, which represents about 2.5 days worth of food. If the weather's so bad I can't train outdoors, I work out indoors doing body weight training. I currently weigh around 155 pounds, which is my set point weight. Using something called the Mifflin-Saint-Jeor equation, I burn about 2,900 calories in a day. The math is going to get complicated, so bear with me. For every 1 pound of weight, that's about 3,500 calories. So if I need to gain 10 pounds, that means I need to take in an additional 35,000 calories over the next 60 days, which is about an extra 600 calories a day. So each day I need to take in 2,900 calories plus an additional 600 calories, which must include 150 grams of protein. So every day that's 3,500 calories, and that'll equal a fatter moondog. However, I can't be eating cookies and honey buns all day. It needs to be healthy foods, and healthier foods have less calories, so I'll be eating a lot. And I'll have to employ some clever tricks to help me get the calories. I'm not that great at the micros and macros of a diet, so I eat essentially the same thing every single day. For me, simplicity is key. I'm trying to take away from the excessive tasks in areas that dedicate brain power. Now, lots of my gear I've had for literally thousands of miles. In long distance sports, we gauge our equipment durability in miles rather than time. Most of my gear is pretty dialed in, meaning that the equipment that I use for one trip, I can use for another with minor adjustments due to the weather or elevation. Later on, I'm going to show you the equipment that I use for these trips and why each particular piece of gear was selected. For this trip, I'm working on turning this surf skate deck into a long distance board. The reason I'm doing this is simple. I think it looks cool. However, it wasn't designed for what I'm trying to do with it, so I have to come up with some clever tricks to make it work for my needs. So typically a trip like this, 1,500 miles, would cost me about $4,500, or $3 per mile. So that includes travel expenses, gear replacements, food, and a hotel stay about every 10 days. However, during this trip, I'll be taking essential data points that will help adventurists hike, bike, and ride this trail in the future. Data points such as water sources, food resupplies, showers, and housing accommodations. Oh yeah, and I'll also be filming it all. So the budget for this trip is $6,200 or $4.14 a mile. I typically work 6 days a week to pay for my trips. That means I need to save $125 per day after expenses, or $750 a week. There will be a video coming soon including more details on my monthly budgets both at home and on the trail, and how I earn this money, negotiate and obtain sponsorship support, and how I'll be crowdfunding the logistical side of all of this. This video is just outlining the goals. So each week I'm going to have a recap of the prior week's goals, like where I had successes and where things went wrong. The metrics that we will follow are training, weight gain, gear, and financing. If there's anything you'd like to be updated on weekly, put it in the comments below. Remember, with routine, organization, and discipline, we can make all of this happen in the next 60 days. Years ago, my local grocer recommended that I try this mac and cheese from this company located here in New Mexico called Fish Ski Provisions. Over the years, Fish Ski and I have been huge supporters of each other, and they've actually become the sponsor of this video. Just like New Mexico, you have to ask yourself, red or green? We also have Christmas, but that's a coward's choice. They also have grits because they know I'm a Southern boy. And the thing that I like about this backpacking food is it's actually incredibly economical. I can get all of these packets at my local grocery store for $4. Compare that to other mac and cheeses on the market that are meant for backpacking, you're looking at almost 3 times that price. On top of that, they give 3% of their proceeds to outdoor groups or conservation groups. That way they can contribute back to the communities that have helped them grow over the years. So visit fishskiprovisions.com. It's a mouthful. I always keep my pack on during training, and they've actually become the sponsor. Even if it's fueled by honey buns and weed, if you're there's 2 mac and cheese options, red and green. Nope.